As Kaido has appeared on the horizon and captured the attention of the entire testing community, BurpSuite no longer seems to be the obvious choice for traffic interception or penetration testing. Given the situation, it is not surprising that Portsfigure is striving to create fundamentally new functionality that could convince both new and experienced users to choose their product. But this video is not a comparison of these tools. We love and follow both of them. In this video, we will explain the nature and potential of BurpChecks. Last year, Portsfigure introduced a new method of scanning automation in BurpSuite called BChecks. It is a simple scripting language that allows users to create their own custom security checks, which will be performed during the scanning. Now, in some cases, instead of writing a new Burp extension, it is much quicker to utilize the BChecks functionality and do the automation or simply extend a list of detected vulnerabilities by the Burp Suite. For demonstration purposes, let's write our own script that will utilize the HTTP headers in attempt to bypass restrictions imposed by some web servers. It is a trivial method that may trick some web servers to process the specified IP address instead of the real one, which could lead to authorization or rate-limiting restrictions bypasses. Let's implement the following simple logic. First thing first, we need to analyze the existing response. Second, if the response has a status code 403 or 429, we need to proceed further. Third, send the request and append the header to it. Finally, if the response's status code is different from the initial one, report it as a potential issue. Each BCheck is defined as a plain text file with a BCheck file extension with padding similar to the YAML format. Each file definition must start with a metadata object and have exactly one given then statement. Metadata contains information about the check itself. This object is mandatory for all BChecks and must be placed at the beginning of the definition. Next, to control the flow of execution, we can use particular keywords, such as define or run for each. Define section is optional and declares variables within inner scope. In this case, we assign the value of the loopback address to the variable bypass IP. Run for each declares an array variable that can be iterated over. When this variable is called, the check runs once for each item in the array. In our script, bypass header array consists of headers that will trick some web servers into processing the specified IP address. It is possible to declare an array only in run for each section and not in the define. Also, you can define multiple arrays in this section and the script will iterate over each of them. Now, we need to instruct the scanner when it should run our check. As mentioned before, each BCheck must have a single given then statement, containing either one of the following keywords. You would probably guess that we will use a given response then keyword, but not exactly. We will not use the given response then keyword, as it is meant only to be used for passive checks, and it will not allow us to send the request in an attempt to bypass the restriction. Instead, we will choose the given request then keyword to audit the base response when the request is sent. Now, being able to analyze each request sent, we need to define some if-else statements, called conditionals in BurpChecks. Conditional keywords control actions that happen as a result of a set condition and can only be used inside a given then statement. BurpChecks support a range of conditions, making matching and comparing any part of the requests or responses an easy task. The base keyword represents the request sent and response received by Burp scanner for the specified scan mode during crawling, while the latest keyword refers to the most recent request-response pair for this scan mode. We will see differences in these keywords in a minute. More details about these objects are described in the reserved variables section of the documentation. In case our conditional check is passing, and the response to the original request is either 403 or 429, how can we proceed with some actions? With actions keywords, of course. This part of the BCheck will prompt Burp Scanner to perform a particular action. Complete list of actions is on the screen. We will select the Send Request action to send the request with specified information, which, in this case, is a new header appended to it. If there is a difference between the new response and the original one, we will instruct BurpSuite to mark it as a potential issue. As an obvious outcome of any scanner or automation, we want to see issues reported to us in the particular dashboard. To do so, we will initialize mentioned before report issue object. Each of these objects consists of name, severity, confidence, details about the issue and remediation advice. This BCheck script was created by my friends at Shadow Surface. On their website, you can find the full text of the original research, including all the details and the complete script. Let's test whether our script functions in real-world conditions using a vulnerable web application built with Flask. Assume that this is the web application we are testing. For users with high privileges, it is possible to administer the application from a separate panel to which we do not have access. Let's import our script into BurpSuite. Navigate to Extensions, BChecks, click Import and find your script. Don't forget to enable it. While testing this scenario, we encountered some not obvious aspects in live audit behavior. Notably, tests from your BCheck will not be included in the initial live audit, which starts immediately after the project is created. Therefore, when you add a new BCheck, we recommend running a new live audit to avoid accidentally missing a vulnerability. Also, to be sure that your BCheck works as intended, consider how scan configurations affect its operation. For example, our BCheck tries to bypass rate limiting when it encounters a 429 status code. However, in the default resource pool, this status code is throttled, which significantly increases the execution time of our BCheck. Keep this in mind during the testing. Now that the live audit is running, our BCheck will process every pass visited or found during the scan. This is what the issue looks like in our dashboard. We can identify which header successfully bypassed the authorization restrictions and the page that is intended exclusively for administrators. BurpSuite has simplified the starting point for anyone interested in writing or using BChecks by creating the BCheck Helper extension. It is already filled with community-created scripts that are ready to use or serve as inspiration. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos.